More than 40 years ago, a local TV show debuted right here on WCIA. That show? PM Magazine. And one of the co-hosts is joining me now over Zoom, Steve Trainor. Steve, thank you so much for joining us today.
Great to be here. Thanks for taking a look back on this, I guess, July 4th, huh?
Yes, well, we are all about reliving the past here and celebrating the very unique and deep history here in WCIA 3 in the station. And I kind of think that CI Living kind of, came from the same idea of PM Magazine. So we are super thankful for you for kind of paving the way. Let's kind of remind everybody who may not have been with us, 4 decades ago, what PM Magazine was all about.
Great question. I think it ran, I'm not sure, 1980 to 1986. There were 100 PM magazines across the country, and it was all about localizing, which is what CI Living does. It was all about localizing and promoting the region. And occasionally we took some great trips, and we get a chance, we'll talk about those. But we would go out and do feature stories about local folks doing fun and funny different things. And a lot of work, as you know, but it was a lot of fun too. We got to meet tons of people. We cover basically 6 markets. Let me see, I wrote them down if I can get them straight. Danville, Champaign-Urbana, Bloomington, Decatur, Charleston, Mattoon, and Springfield. That was a lot of ground to cover.
Yeah.
And what happened real quick was everyone would send in a story a week. So that's 100 stories. Only 10 of them were chosen. They were sent back out for the next week. You would pick the weakest story and insert your local story in that rundown. So there'd be 2 stories a day, 5 days a week.
Okay, I'm going to stop you. I'm going to stop you right there. Why would you pick your weakest story?
Well, you're so good. You'd want the strongest, funniest, best stories. So if one doesn't really click with the producer in particular, much less the co-host, you've got to drop one to insert your local one for that week. You've produced it, you've told everyone it'll be on, and then you go back and tell them what day. So that's why you drop the 10th story and put in yours, whether it be Monday, Wednesday, or Friday, whatever.
Okay, and it's just fascinating that this was actually a national franchise. So you weren't just airing here in our viewing area. You were all over.
My co-host did a story about the local pop group Champaign with their hit song "Why Not Us." I think that was it. Anyway, and that went national. I had stories about Heloise, who did a domestic, if you will, column all about housekeeping and all sorts of tips. We did a story about a guy who built his own car. We were the first television station in the entire country to do a story about this new board game called Trivial Pursuit. And I know we were first because the news magazines weren't around then. And this was not something that was newsworthy. It wasn't being on your your network, CBS News, because it was just a game that no one had any idea how popular it would be. So we did Trivial Pursuit, the guy who built his own car. There was a story about a book, 1,001 Ways You Reveal Your Personality, the way you like your coffee, the way you like your eggs, how you kiss. So that went national. I can't right now think it's true. That was fun doing.
Did you demonstrate that?
We did, almost. What I did was, true story, we went out to Marketplace Mall and we were doing some stand-ups where, as you know, you're in front of the camera and you're talking and there's no real video covering you, no B-roll, as we call it. And so I arranged with this woman. She was walking by, very attractive. And I arranged, it was a setup. You could do that with features. And I said, "Excuse me, miss, would you like to kiss?" And she walked right by me, of course. And then I just went back to the camera and go, "Well, you get the idea." So it was fun and funny. But that went national because everybody has eggs. Almost everybody drinks coffee. 1,001 ways. We picked about, I don't know, 10 or 15 to illuminate. And that's all that would fit in what was our 6-minute
Wow.
story window. Yeah.
Oh my
So,
word. Oh,
yeah,
I'm about to fall off my box.
those went national. And when that would show up on the national reel, we automatically took that one out because it had already played in our market. And we put in the latest story that we'd done.
Oh, okay. Now, you were actually the second host, right, of PM Magazine. Second male, is that right?
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
I came on in December of 81. The first guy lasted almost a year, I think. I'm sorry, I don't remember his name. I think he went on to other things. That's all I recall. Suzanne could tell you more. And I was there almost 4 years.
Okay, well, we are visiting with Suzanne, I believe, also this hour. Let's, we're gonna go to break, but when we come back a little bit later, let's kind of revisit some of those favorite stories that you have, including one with a llama. I've had an experience with an alpaca, so I feel like we're kind of here on the same page. We can chat about that. And we need to plant a few seeds about having CI Living hit the road to Jamaica and all of those fun places like you got to go to. So, Steve, we appreciate you hanging out with us and sharing some fun memories of PM Magazine.
This is Trivial Pursuit, the best-selling board game in years and one of the top gift items of the season. This little game has been around for just 6 months, yet sales have already reached the $70 million mark.
Sports, come on, ask me sports. Sports, I know.
What sport
really
is
do.
it recommended that you duck the boom?
There's a sport by that name?
It's called Duck the Boom.
Duck the boom.
It's like Duck, Duck, Goose.
The answer is,
Yachting. You lose.
I lose. Who yachts?
Trivia is the name of this game. There are 6,000 trivia questions included, covering everything from science to sports. Some questions are simple, but many are stumpers.
What 3 colors of ink are used to print United States dollar bills?
I'm due to get one right. Green. I know that. Green, white, beige. No. Green, white, and black.
Black, green, and blue.
Blue.
Here's how to play. First, roll the die to see how many spaces to move. Then advance your pie-shaped token to the appropriate space. The color you land on determines the category of your question. Blue is geography, red is entertainment, yellow is history, and so on. Get a correct answer and you win a piece of the pie. Get your entire pie to the center of the board and you win the game. Easy, right?
What do you get when you mix tequila,
Tequila,
triple sec,
triple sec,
and lime juice?
and lime. A headache.
A margarita.
What if you can answer all 6,000 questions? Well, the inventors have several specialized versions for you. The Silver Screen edition features 6,000 questions from movie buffs. The sports version will stump any sports fanatic. And there's even a baby boom edition with trivia from the 50s and 60s. The more you play, the easier it gets.
How many dimensions does a solid have?
Solid what?
By the way, this is not a cheap item. The game sells for between $20 and $40 depending on where you get it. But that hasn't stopped Christmas shoppers. 1 million of these sets have been sold during the Christmas shopping season. Call it a fad. Call it a backlash against the video game revolution. For whatever reason, this little game is catching on. And why not? It's all in the pursuit of trivial pleasure.
How many times a year does the penguin have sex?